What is going on, guys? Welcome to your third MySQL tutorial, and before we continue, I want to mention this. Whenever I start teaching you guys about all the different MySQL commands, all the different things that you can do to a database, I'm going to be starting teaching you guys some very simple commands. Now, these commands may include something like how to view your information, how to sort your information in your database. However, before we use those commands, we obviously need some information. We need some data so we can sort something or view something, obviously. Now, lucky for you guys, I already made all of the tables that you guys need to follow along with these tutorials. You can download the files and use them whenever you want for 100% free. Now, in order to use this information, in order to use this data, you need to create a database first because that's where you're going to be putting the data. So, in order to create a database, what you need to do is log into your account, and you can either hit this MySQL database wizard or this MySQL database icon. I think this one's the easiest one, although some people may disagree with me, but if you want to follow along with me, click on this MySQL databases icon, and what you do is you create a database by just naming it something. I'm just going to name mine YouTube and hit create database. Now you hit it and it says, okay, created MySQL database. Basically gives you a confirmation. If you don't see this, then you did something wrong. So now we have a database created. We can begin filling it with data. However, I want to add a MySQL user to this database. Now, I don't know in the advanced tutorials if we're going to need this user because typically whenever you're writing a website in PHP or something, you need this user. But anyways, I don't know if we're going to need it now, but in case we need it later on, I don't want to come back to this section and do it all again, so might as well do it now. So in order to create a user, just go ahead and give them a name. I'm going to name him Bucky. Now you can write your own password, but what I like to do is like to use the password generator. It gives you a weird password. There's mine. And just go ahead and click I've copied this in a safe place. Click use password. And then once you have a name and a password, go ahead and hit create user. So now we created a database and we created a user. Now, when do we need this user? Well, sometimes we need a user to access the database, which we'll see later on in the more advanced tutorials. But anyways, in order to add that user to the database, we pretty much want to give that user access to use that database. You need to scroll down to the very bottom section and choose your user and choose your database and hit add. Now, whenever you're programming, this is like really advanced stuff that you guys don't need to know now, but you only want to give your user specific privileges, only the privileges that they need. However, for the sake of these tutorials, I'm just going to go ahead and give Bucky all privileges, give him access to do anything he wants to the database. So now we go ahead and make changes, and now pretty much Bucky has access to do anything to this database. Now, that really wasn't important for this tutorial, so let's go ahead and click home. The key thing that you need to make sure is that pretty much you have a user and a database. So now we have a database. That's pretty cool. Okay, so how do you see it? Does it have tables in it already? Does it have information in it? Well, in order to see your database, go ahead and click this icon called PHP My Admin. Now, whenever you click it, it says, okay, wait, and now a tool called PHP My Admin opens up. Now, in this tool is where we're going to be typing all of our SQL commands. This is where we're going to be spending most of our time. Now, all of your databases are listed on the left-hand side. Now, obviously, we just created this one called Danielle underscore YouTube, so that's why that one's there. You also may have one called Information Schema, or however the heck you say it, and some other ones depending on if your teacher made some dummy ones. But anyways, the one you created should definitely be there. Now, in order to view any tables in it, just go ahead and click the name of your database, and if you have any tables already, like for example, obviously we didn't create any tables yet, but if you do have a table like from your work or if your teacher already created some tables for you, they're going to be listed on the left hand side. However, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be teaching you guys in the next tutorial. Actually, I think I have time in this tutorial, so that's what I'm going to do. Now, obviously, we need some data. So in order to get some data to follow along in these tutorials, go to my website called tnbforum.com. It's my forum. And by the way, if you guys have any questions that you need answering, just go ahead and ask me on my forum and I'll answer them for you there. But anyway, scroll down to the section that says SQL and databases. Make sure to ask your questions there. Now, at the very top, you're going to see a link that says Files from Tutorials. Go ahead and click that, and whenever you do, you're going to be able to click on this MySQL Files zip folder. Now, go ahead and click that, and you're going to start downloading this MySQL files. These are all of the data files that you guys need. So, whenever I'm working with a table in one of my tutorials, and you guys are like, whoa, Bucky, I don't have that table, then just go ahead and follow along, download the file. This is where it is. So in order to pretty much extract it, just go ahead and double click this, and depending on whatever program you have, just go ahead and click one click on zip, and then it pretty much extracts it to your downloads file. So remember, downloads, you're going to have a folder called MySQL files, and then another one, and then you're going to have a table name followed by .sql. Now remember in the very first tutorial that I said that pretty much all of the information is contained in tables. You may have a table that has all the user information, you may have a table with all the product information, you may have a table with all the video information. I'm going to name each of these files just the table name. So you're saying, okay, I followed along with your tutorial so far. I downloaded this SQL file, which whatever you say has data in it. Now, how do I get it into my database right here? Well, in order to do that, you need to, again, make sure you're in phpMyAdmin and make sure you're in the database you're working in. So make sure you have the database selected. In this case, it's Danielle_YouTube. Now, once you have that database that you want to import your table into, go ahead and hit the button Import. This means pretty much import outside data. Now, my data, or your data as it is now, it's in that downloads file. And if you click MySQL files, it's the folder, or excuse me, it's the file customers.sql. So go ahead and double click that. And now it says, okay, it verifies that, excuse me, I clicked something wrong. It verifies what file you're trying to open or import, and then leave everything else at default. Now, if you accidentally click the button, then make sure, pause the screen for a second and make sure all of your, settings and checkboxes are the same as mine, format, SQL, so on and so forth. And once you choose your file, just go ahead and hit go. Now check this out. It says import has been successfully finished, 11 queries executed. Okay, kind of confusing. More importantly is you now have all that data I made for you guys on your database. How awesome is that? For free, didn't have to pay for anything. So you're saying, okay, I don't believe you. Well, if you don't, just go ahead and click on this customers table over here, and now check it out. If you scroll, you can now see that all of the information that you guys want is right here. And by the way, if you're saying, okay, I just imported a table called customers, what the heck is this? Well, this isn't any real customers from any real company or anything. It's just a quick little sample table I made up for teaching tutorials. Basically, it has an ID number, a name, and these are just fake names except mine, that's real, address, city, state, and zip. Basically just a bunch of fake data that we can play along with and basically practice MySQL and SQL queries on it. So there you go, there you have it. That is how you get free data. And by the way, I know even though there is one file in here for now, in the upcoming tutorials I'm going to be making more tables, and whenever I do make another table, then just go ahead and download it again and it's going to be there. So I'm going to be updating this as I'm teaching these tutorials. So if you ever say, hey, I didn't get that table, well, just go ahead and download it again. But anyways, I'm rambling and I need to drink a water or something. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.